The Russian Foreign Minister has thanked North Korea for its unwavering support over its war in Ukraine. Sergei Lavrov is in Pyongyang, where he has met with his North Korean counterpart. Last week, the US said North Korea had begun shipping munitions and military equipment to Russia to use in the war. Well, let's bring in our correspondent, Jean McKenzie, who's following all the developments from South Korean Seoul. Jean, welcome to you. Tell us what's the significance of this visit by Sergei Lavrov.
Well, Mr. Lavrov has said that he is in Pyongyang to discuss how they are going to implement some of these arrangements that were made between Vladimir Putin and Kim Jong Un when they met in Russia last month. Now, he may not have specified what these arrangements were, but it is widely believed, and certainly the US believes, that the two leaders have reached a major arms deal in which Russia is going to receive artillery and ammunition from North Korea to help it carry on fighting its war in Ukraine. And over the last week, we have had several reports which suggest that North Korea has already started shipping this stuff in some pretty large quantities. So on Friday, the US released some key pieces of intelligence and evidence which showed that 300 containers had left North Korea and been shipped to Russia's east coast. They had then been transported across the entire country and had ended up in a military depot near the Ukrainian border.
Yeah, Jean, we've seen Kim Jong Un meet with Vladimir Putin not that long ago, reaffirming, I guess, strengthening of ties between the two countries.
Yeah, and it's widely thought that Mr. Lavrov's visit to Pyongyang today is actually going to pave the way for the Russian President Vladimir Putin to be able to repay that favour and come and visit Kim Jong Un in Pyongyang himself. And if you look at some of the language and the things that Lavrov has said while he's in Pyongyang, it's clear that Russia is choosing to align itself with North Korea at the moment, or at least that's what it is doing publicly. Mr. Lavrov, for example, has thanked North Korea for its unwavering support in the war in Ukraine, but it has also today come out and criticised the US policy in North Korea. It said that the US is pursuing a dangerous policy here in the region by building up its alliances with Japan and with South Korea. So the more isolated these countries become, it's clear the more aligned their interests become, especially they are now both in confrontation with the United States. And it is thought that Russia is using this relationship not just to get all the hardware that it needs for the war in Ukraine, but also to be able to put pressure on the United States, to say to the US, look, we have the power to be able to destabilise the security situation in Northeast Asia.
Yeah, what has the international reaction been to this visit?
Look, certainly here in South Korea and in the United States, they are watching this blossoming relationship with concern. There are still, I think, questions over how far Russia would really be prepared to go when it comes to supporting North Korea. Would it really be prepared to transfer sensitive military technology to the North? We still have no indication of what North Korea is getting in return for this deal. But there is concern about these countries growing ever more closer together because, also North Korea stands to benefit from this. It is hugely sanctioned at the moment. And so any support, especially military support from Russia, does strengthen its hand. These two countries, they are more dangerous together than they are alone.
OK, Jean, thanks very much.